Welcome. Well, thank you everyone for coming here today. It's the last day of Ignite. There's a lot more people than I anticipated. Good to have you here. All right, today in this session, we'll explore how Microsoft 365 Copilot can empower anyone to create and use agents safely and right at where they work. I'm Michael Chow, the PM that leads Agent Builder in Microsoft 365 Copilot, and I'm joined by my colleague Chris and Heather here today. We have a lot to cover, so let's dive in. I would first like to start with a trend that I think you may have seen already by now. Many frontier firms are using agents to streamline organization processes by helping their people to be more productive, freeing up their time for higher value work. And one of the most common trends that we see is that a lot of organizations start with a top-down approach, which is extremely common, where leaders define the vision that focuses on big bets to optimize existing business processes. However, just counting on top-down alone is not sufficient, because only each employee knows best about their friction at work. And these employees invest large amount of time in manual searches, repetitive tasks. In a lot of cases, these are tasks that actually lack standard definition of process. The bottom-up approach really empowers your employees who are the expert in their day-to-day work to create and use agents in where they need the most. And to make the bottom-up approach successful, we need to transform employees who are mostly AI users today that consume what is being provided to them to what we call frontier workers who can shape the AI with goals that assist each and one of their unique work styles. But there are some real challenges and gaps to help organizations achieve this transformation. Without the right tools, it can actually lead to low AI adoption, miss of opportunity on insights, or even shadow AI that ultimately leads to wasted investment. Those gaps need to be closed to truly unlock the value of frontier workers. And Microsoft Copilot is the platform that makes that leap possible. And it comes with a complete tool set. We have Agent Builder, Workflows, and the App Builder to empower every employee to become a frontier worker that streamlines their work. And today, we're going to start with a deep dive into agents. With Copilot, agents are personalized, understands your goal, grounded in your work, and secure by design. An Agent Builder empowers anyone in your organization to create these agents in just minutes, connecting to your content and context with the right controls. And I want to call out that the transformation is already happening. And actually, we're seeing accelerating adoptions. Today, over 230,000 customers are using Copilot Studio to build and manage agents. It's not just early adopters. 90% of the Fortune 500 have already used agents built with Microsoft tools. Enterprises are standardizing on Copilot as the foundation for agent creation usage, making it the trusted choice for scale and security. Let's take Wipro as an example. Wipro has built a sales domain expertise agent to help make their sales team employees more productive by providing insights and upsell opportunities at their fingertips. Let's watch a video to see how this real-world transformation is done.
Meet 𝗦𝗽𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, a Copilot-powered analytics agent used at Wipro. As an account leader, I regularly analyze reports to gauge account health. 𝗦𝗽𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 delivers instant insights and growth opportunities from revenue, pipeline, and operational trends. Let us give a prompt now to show top 5 upsell and cross-sell opportunities with insights. The agent identifies your top 5 opportunities. Accounts 8 and 5 stand out with the strongest pipeline momentum, making them top targets for immediate engagement. Let's compare account 73's revenue and operations across 3 quarters. The agent shows pipeline revenue rising, signaling strong operational alignment with revenue growth. With 𝗦𝗽𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, I can now turn data into smarter decisions.
All right. now let's dive into some of the new innovations coming our way to make agents even more powerful. Today, we have 3 main pillars of news to share with you all. We're going to start with an updated experience of Agent Builder to help you build agents in just minutes using your own words. And you can now use your agents in the flow of work with no context switching required. And of course, with Microsoft, it's always about security and compliance, making sure that you can deploy your agents with trust. Let's start with the first one. And I think there's no better way to start it by doing a live demo. What do you guys say? I was hoping for, more applause, but will do. All right, now I really have to make this thing count. Thank you. Okay. All right. On my screen, today in this demo, I'm going to be doing some role-playing with us all. I'm going to be a product manager who is leading a drone launch project. And here on my screen, you guys can see I've already gone ahead and created an agent to help me generate executive summaries for my leadership because they want to keep a close eye on the progress we're making on a very tight schedule. And here, I've already gone ahead and started a conversation with the agent. And we can see that the agent was able to pull really good information from the enterprise knowledge and give me a pretty professional executive summary here. And not only so, I was also able to go ahead and ask the agent to generate a beautiful PowerPoint deck for me so I can use the presentation in the upcoming review. And now in this demo today, I'm going to show you all how we can build an agent like this in just minutes live here on stage. So let's switch over to Agent Builder. On the screen, this is the new Agent Builder experience. You can see that it is a lot simpler and cleaner now. And it takes a 0 prompt from me to start my agent building journey. I'm going to go ahead and tell Agent Builder that my goal is to create an agent that provides executive summary to track the drone project launch. With the new updated Agent Builder experience, the conversational creation experience is now a lot more natural. And not only will Agent Builder understand what I'm trying to ask it to do, it will also come back to me with suggestions and recommendations on how it can make the agent maximize its potential. Well, looks like here we go. So we can see that it's thinking a little bit. There's a lot of traffic today. All right, so we here see it. Agent Builder comes back to me and understands that I'm trying to build a drone project executive summary agent here. And we can see that it affirms to me on the key features that's going to be included in my agents, which includes the summary being very professional and concise. And we also see here at the bottom here, it is asking me if there's anything else I want to add to my agents. And rightfully so, I think the suggestion is sound. I would like to go ahead and include knowledge sources into the agent. With the new updated experience here, you can now add your knowledge sources to your agent directly via this conversation experience, whether it is SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, email, or public websites. All of these things can be now done conversationally in here. And although I'm not sharing here today in this demo, there will also be a UX gesture which you can easily launch from this experience to select the files grounded inside of your 𝗦𝗲𝗀 data. Looks like it's taking a little bit longer today for it to think. So, okay, let's give it another moment. Drum roll. Come on. All right, here we go. So we see it. So Agent Builder comes back and confirms to me that it has added the SharePoint knowledge to its definition. And I'm assured by it because I can see that these files are the actual names that are in SharePoint. So things are looking good. The next thing I want to do is I would like to make sure that in the executive summary it generates always has a table capturing the next 3 upcoming milestones. So this way, when my leadership reviews it, they will know that what's the next upcoming stages. And also, we're going to put the final target launch date so they know how we're tracking for Q2 launch of next year on this drone project. All right. While it is still thinking here, why don't let's go ahead and switch over to the configure pane to see what Agent Builder has done so far. Over in the configure pane here, we can see that the name and the description obviously has already been generated. But the more interesting part is to look at the instructions here. Agent Builder now generates extremely optimized instructions, specifically optimized for 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 Copilot. And if I look through here, we can see that in the step-by-step instructions, it really clearly lays out what I wanted to do. And for my special request to always include a table listing the upcoming milestones, we can see that it is captured here right inside the instructions. And we can also see that it even go ahead and provided an example table format so that the agent know what to render. If we scroll down further here, we'll see that the 2 SharePoint files I requested to add earlier is already included as a knowledge here in the agent. So far it looks like Agent Builder is able to do what I've asked it to do. But since I'm the configure pane here, I'm going to now go ahead to make some additional tweaks. I'm going to go ahead and turn on this only use specified source option. The reason I would do that is because there's an internal drone launch project, and I want to make sure that when agent responses, it's always using the authoritative sources from my enterprise knowledge. I don't want the response to conflict with public knowledge sources or maybe internal model knowledge here. And the next thing I would like to do here is to really give my agent a face. I feel like this icon we have is a little bit too generic here. With the latest Agent Builder update, you can now directly generate agent icon following the description of your agents. You can, of course, also have the option to give a particular prompt on what you want the icon to look like. But if you don't want to leverage AI for this, and you want to go the more traditional path, Agent Builder also has a rich set of icons for you to pick, and you can also easily change the background color of your icon to your likings. And if, of course, if your organization has particular brand or theme that you want to just upload your image as icon here, you can always do that. Let's go back to the AI generation here. We can still see it's thinking a little bit here. So while it's thinking, I want to highlight that you can continue to prompt Agent Builder to update your image as it goes. For example, you can actually say, make the image only black and white, or make it a little bit more cartoonish. And Agent Builder can do that for you. But in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and apply the image that's generated for me. All right. So now that my agent has a new face, let's proceed. The last thing I want to do on this agent configuration is I'm going to go ahead and turn on the new agent office skill. With the new agent office skill, agents can now directly generate high-quality Word, Excel, and PowerPoint documents, expanding the scenarios that agents can do for me. So far, everything's looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and see this agent in action. I'm going to go ahead and ask it to provide an executive summary of the current status on the drone project launch. Over here, the agent is going to follow the instructions that's been provided to it, following the step-by-step instruction to go through the enterprise knowledge provided and generate a professional, concise response for me. And here, as it streams the information into the chat here, we can see that it's doing exactly that. And it's using the enterprise knowledge I provided because the citation is clearly coming from my SharePoint knowledge. And we see that it followed my instruction to a T. Here, it also included the upcoming milestones table that I've requested earlier. Now it's looking pretty good. In the past, I would probably have to take this and manually create a PowerPoint deck for the upcoming review. But the new agent office skill now, I can just go ahead and ask the agent to generate a PowerPoint deck for me. So this way, it can save me tons of time in the process. And normally, this PowerPoint generation is going to take a few moments. So while it's busy doing that, let's go ahead and think about what else can I do to make the agent more powerful. In the new Describe Experience in Agent Builder, it not only does what I tell it to do, but I can also just brainstorm with it, tell it the goals I want to achieve. So over here, I'm just going to go ahead and ask Agent Builder, hey, what else can I add to make my agent more useful? And Agent Builder has the industry best practice key into it on how to build the most effective agents. So we'll come back to tell you on the improvements that I can potentially do. And over here, I can see it came back with quite a few good recommendations, including adding more knowledge sources, expanding my conversation starters so people can use the agent for other functionality, aware of what the agent can serve them with. And there's a lot more here. And looking through this list here, I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the conversation starter option. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I like the conversation starter option. Let's add it. All right. So while Agent Builder is busy updating my agent there for the conversation starters, we can see on the right-hand side now that the PowerPoint deck has been generated. Let's go ahead and see what it got for me. Wow. Out of the box, without doing anything specific here, I now already have a very professionally built PowerPoint deck. It's extremely polished. It comes with the content that I care about, and it already comes with good image and a good talking flow. This is going to save me tremendous of time when I review my leadership there. I was hoping for applause there, but OK. All right. And then the last part I want to show here is that it looks like Agent Builder has gone ahead and added more particular conversation starter prompts for me. So if I now go back to the new chat of the agent, I see that these new conversation starters have been added. So this really shows that Agent Builder is able to continue to help me to iterate on my agents, making it more powerful to fit my goals. So in just the last few minutes, I've shown you how we're able to build an agent in really just minutes using Agent Builder. And with the new updated Agent Builder experience, truly anyone can create an agent, even though you know nothing about how to build an agent yourself, because the Agent Builder's new experience now can guide you through it. And normally, I will end the demo here. But before I do that, I want to push the art of possible a little bit further. Let's push the boundary a bit. What if I want this agent to be more powerful? What if I want to do something beyond what M365 and Office supports out of the box? Let's say I have a proprietary backend system that tracks the latest drone test flight results. And I would love to include that in the executive summary from the agent. Well, I'm very happy to share that Agent Builder agents now can be seamlessly copied into the full Copilot Studio experience. Thank you for clapping. This is my favorite feature, too. And this will now give you the full access to the Pro Maker tool suite, where you can truly make your agent more sophisticated and full enterprise flash ready. And so with that, now let's go back to the presentation to kind of recap what we've gone through. All right. So with the new agent creation experience, user can now be actively guided through the agent authoring process, including adding capabilities like the right knowledge and actions. You can also now easily copy and graduate your agents from Agent Builder to the full Pro Maker tool suite in Copilot Studio, where you can add all the advanced capabilities you'll need to build full-fledged enterprise agents. And what's more is that agents now also have common Office skills, like generating Word or Excel documents, or even writing snippets of code. This greatly increases the type of scenarios that your agent can help you to make you more productive. These agents can now also use a wider variety of knowledge from data in Teams meetings, including transcripts and attendee information, OneNote, or even your personal mailbox. You can also connect to other sources like Azure DevOps, GitHub, ServiceNow, and more with granular source level control. All right, so now let's actually go ahead and take a look at how BASF is using the agent created from Agent Builder to help their employees to be more productive by generating content that fits the company's brand and language style for various audience. Let's go ahead and play the video.
Welcome to BASF Agricultural Solutions. We're excited to introduce 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, a smart AI writing assistant that knows our brand, including messaging, writing styles, and is trained on thousands of our communication assets. Meet Julia, a communications manager working on multiple tasks that require research, creating high-quality content and ensuring consistency. That's where 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 comes in. As a Copilot agent, it helps Julia research information from assets such as press releases, key messages, and product information. It helps her create tailored content for LinkedIn, Instagram, websites, and more. It translates, adapts to audiences, and even finds the perfect visuals to tell her story. Thanks to 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, Julia improves quality and communicates on brand. Tasks that used to take minutes or hours? Now done in seconds. And this is just the beginning. Next, crisis communication support and even more data sources.
It's always fantastic to see how agents are transforming the real work in the world. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Chris, our engineering leader on Agent Builder, to walk through a lot more remaining exciting news. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the session.
Hey everyone, thank you, Michael. Okay, so once again, your words in your flow of work and with guardrails. Let's dive into the second pillar, the flow of work. So creation is step one, but the real value comes when agents are discovered, recommended, reused, and ubiquitous in your daily workflow. Traditional AI was misaligned, isolated, often brittle, and lacked context, but Copilot flips the script. Agents in Copilot work for your team, live in your apps, and carry your work context. They are discoverable, context-aware, and team-ready. And with Work IQ's three-part intelligence layer, consisting of data, memory, and inference, this AI enables Copilot to access email, chats, files, retain memory from your habits and workflows, and understand how tasks and tools interact and how you use them. Usability means agents are easy to find, use, and recommend. No hunting for the right bot. Copilot makes agents part of your daily workflow. Let's see how with a demo. Okay, so in this demo, I'm Maya. Maya is Contoso's marketing manager. Every month, she must prepare a marketing report for leadership telling a cohesive story on sales performance, product usage, and customer sentiment. But getting there is painful. She's pulling spreadsheets from the sales team, usage reports from analytics, and survey feedback from customer insights, all in different formats with different owners. Let's see how agents can transform this workflow for her. Here I am in Microsoft Word, but Maya's not working alone anymore. Using Copilot Studio, she and her team created a customer insights agent, grounded in product usage data to help her analyze adoption and engagement trends. Her colleagues in the sales and community organizations have done the same, building their own agents, a sales report agent and a community feedback agent, each grounded in their own data that these teams only have access to, but have exposed through some of these agents made available for their team or their organization. Now, right now, inside Word, Maya can collaborate with all three of these agents, combining expertise to build this report in just a few simple conversations. Let's see what this looks like. I'll start with the sales report agent. I'll ask, summarize this month's sales. Don't worry about the typo. Give me 2 to 3 highlights for the leadership team. Include a table with the last 3 months' sales by product. Okay, so in seconds, Copilot gives me a clear summary, top performing products, month-over-month growth, and total revenue, already formatted and ready for all leadership review. All I need to do now is add it to my document, which I can do without ever leaving Copilot by clicking that button. Cool. It's been inserted in the doc, contextually aware of what's going on in Word. Okay, and just like that, Copilot can turn this data into easy-to-read visual, which I can drop right into my report by saying, add a visual chart. It's thinking, it's working. Here we go. Here's our visual chart across product groups, broken out by different months. I'll go ahead and add this to the report as well. Okay, so I'm good with the sales agent. Let's move into the customer insights agent. Summarize October's product usage trends and highlight adoption shifts. Okay, we see engagement is increasing. We can see retention metrics and usage patterns over time. Let's add it. Great. The last agent we're going to interact with is the community feedback agent. Yeah. Summarize customer sentiment and NPS trends for October, comparing with the last few months. There's the NPS, customer sentiment and key themes, comparison with previous months, and special insights for marketing. Awesome, let's add it. Okay, so together, Maya has used these 3 agents to generate the general content she needs for this report that she's going to send to leadership. But we're not done yet. What I'm going to do now is going to move into Copilot, and I'm going to move into something called agent mode. Agent mode in Copilot allows Copilot or agents operating inside Copilot to directly modify some of these documents without you needing to click buttons or anything like that. I'm going to show a couple examples here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Copilot to add an appropriate header and document the highlight section summarizing the top 3 takeaways from this report and the information the 3 agents provided into it. There's my header, there's my highlights. I have the opportunity to review and keep, in this case, Word, the different edits that the Copilot made on my behalf. Copilot also explains why it made some of the changes that it felt it needed to make. And lastly, you can do some interesting things like what generated from the sales agent had some interesting forward slashes in the content, which is unnecessary. So I'll just say remove the forward slashes. By highlighting the section I want in the Word document, the context is then sent into agent mode and Copilot, and I can make direct modifications contextually with where I'm at in the doc. Done. Easy. So Maya can take this further. You can imagine grounding Copilot or agents on specific brand formatting or style guidelines, and then using agent mode to make sure that it adheres to all of this as they're making and modifying these documents. But that's it. In just a few steps, Maya's leadership report is complete. It's clear, it's consistent, it's grounded in important data, built collaboratively through 3 different agents surfaced through Copilot. And that's the power of connected agents across Microsoft 365. You or your team can build their own agent, and together they deliver a seamless, data-driven collaboration right now where you work. Cool. Thanks. One other thing I wanted to show off in the flow of work. Have you ever interacted with M365 Copilot and had various prompts, utterances, or just general conversations that at the time was ephemeral but might make sense to come back to or potentially capture and share with your team? I've got an example conversation here that I just generated this morning, asking Copilot to give me the latest LLM-related news from public websites, which is a nice starter prompt. It gave me some information and some links. I wanted to ground it on additional information like, what about news just from OpenAI, Anthropic, or Microsoft? It then formatted it in a nice table for me, provided some key takeaways. This is great for me, but it might be valuable for others. So what can I do here? You could create an agent. And previously, you would have to go into the agent authoring experience that Microsoft described, ground it on the appropriate data, potential websites. But right now, I can just take this conversation that I've had with Copilot, and I can save it directly as an agent right now. It's going to load up the experience that Michael stepped through. It's going to use the conversation from Copilot and the grounding information that was provided, and it's going to insert that as information used to generate instructions and grounding material for the agent itself. There it is. I look at the name, it generated a name, a description, some really specific instructions with even some example few-shot prompts of user and agent interactions. It's grounding on website information. It's exactly what I need. And I can interact with it directly here in the test chat. Awesome. All I need to do now to share this with my team is to click the Create button, making it available in the M365 Agent Store, and adjust the sharing permissions, in this case, to be anyone available, anyone in my organization. And there they go. They can all access this information that is generated right from Copilot. Okay, so agents in the flow of work. Agents now show up in Office clients like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook. M365 Copilot and agents show up as a sidecar to aid while you work, cutting down on context switching. M365 Copilot can now recommend agents that best help solve your question. These agents can also be found in the Agent Store in the Shared With Me section, helping you discover and use the most applicable agents for your scenario. And what I just showed is that you will soon be able to generate an agent from an M365 Copilot conversation directly. The agent instructor captures your preference and guidance to save time and future use to allow easy sharing with your colleagues or your organization. So now that you've seen how agents can help you through the flow of work, we can now boost productivity further by having workflow that can automate across agents and the apps that you use. I'm going to invite my colleague Heather to the stage to talk about Workflows Agent. Please welcome Heather.
Thank you, Chris. Awesome. We are so excited to announce the availability of Workflows Agent in M365 Copilot. Now, you just saw some really cool demos from Michael and Chris on how Agent Builder and Copilot can help you and your team create content faster and generate answers to people's questions grounded in that specific knowledge. And now, with Workflows Agent, you can actually automate all of those tasks that you or your team do on a repetitive basis. And it's never been easier. But those are a lot of words, so let's actually see it in a demo. No one steal my pen. Okay. So this is Workflows Agent, and just like I said, it's available inside of M365 Copilot. You can find it inside of the Agent Store for install. Now, I'm going to give it a prompt to help me automate a process that I do every single week. So I lead a team on a new project called Project Voyager. And this team spans across different folks across Microsoft. That is marketing, finance, engineering, design, etc. And we exchange conversations on the status of this project consistently over emails, over Teams, over Word documents, like the Word document that you saw Chris develop with Agent Builder, and so on. Now, every single week, we share out a status report. And it's my job to go through all of those emails and all of those documents and find out what the key items for the week was. And I even go into SharePoint where we have a tracker list of all of the open items. I compile that summary, and then I post it to the team. So here I'm going to share that SharePoint site where I've asked it to compile that information. And have it create that action. So here, as I give the Workflows Agent a prompt, it's going to start taking the intent of my automation and start building out that flow on the right side. So we can see that it's identified a trigger. So it's triggering this flow whenever I want to create this report. And then it's going to go and use an 𝗦𝗽𝗀𝗃𝗃 Copilot action. And what it's doing is it's going to get all of the information across my emails, team chats, files, and return a concise summary of key progress. Then it's going to go and retrieve that data from a SharePoint list, and then ultimately summarize all of that and post it into that Teams chat that I identified as the Project Voyager LT group. Okay, I think that this flow looks great, so I'm going to go ahead and save it. Now imagine the amount of hours and days that your team can come back, not by just creating an automation that repeats on a recurrence trigger, but actually doing something intelligent. It's going to go and find that data. It's going to create that summary about what it identifies to be the most important, and then it's going to share it where the team does its work, which is in the Teams app. Now, this might take a little bit of time, so we can just go into a completed flow here, and we can see that when the flow runs successfully, it's able to retrieve that information from 𝗦𝗽𝗀𝗃𝗃 Copilot. It finds all of the tracker items from SharePoint, creates that summary, and then ultimately posts it into that Teams chat. I can always come into my workflows activity view to see all of the past run of those workflows and ensure that it's still behaving in the way that I want it to. If I think about maybe a different source of information that I want to add to that summary, or maybe I don't want to send it over Teams, I want to send it to an email, or I want to request additional information, I can always come back into that Workflows agent chat and specify that directly in the chat and make any edits to my flow. Perfect, thank you so much. I'm ready. So if we see what we've covered in the conversation, now with Workflows Agent, which is available today, you can check it out in the Agent Store in 𝗦𝗽𝗀𝗃𝗃 Copilot. You can now create intelligent workflows across your 𝗦𝗽𝗃 applications, all with a guided prompt on automation. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand it over to Chris, who's going to share a little bit more on how we govern all of these things.
Thank you, Heather. Okay. In Copilot, admins keep control and visibility, so innovation and compliance go hand in hand. But let's dive into pillar 3, security and compliance. Innovation automates work, delivers cost efficiencies, and builds a competitive edge. And this is mandatory in today's AI world. The question is how to pair it with governance to give us the confidence that these systems will operate securely and under your enterprise policies. The good news is that Copilot makes this pairing simple. It helps customers manage risk, protect data, and meet regulations, all centralized in the Microsoft Admin Center. It's a balanced system that bridges your AI innovation with your regulatory and security interests to achieve business outcomes you have not yet seen. And the best part is Copilot can feed and support both sides of this equation. By giving this tool to your coworkers, you are setting up the best AI experiment. Users can build and deploy their agents, share it with their team, and use it in their daily workflow. While admins keep control, visibility, and management with tools that help them detect when an agent is popular and should be scaled across the organization. As organizations scale the use of agents, governance becomes essential. First, IT needs to set clear guardrails for who can create, onboard, and manage their agents. Next, decide how broadly agents can be shared across the organization. And finally, managing access is equally critical. Each agent should only have access to the resources it needs to perform its tasks, nothing more. Agent 365 brings structure and control to your agent ecosystem. It starts with a single registry that acts as the source of truth for all agents in your organization, giving IT full visibility. Agents can be quarantined or removed, meaning they won't show up in discovery and can't connect to other agents or organizational resources. Agents' reach can also be limited, with sharing controls and management over ownership and who has rights to modify the agent. These are both essential to reduce risk and prevent issues with shadow AI. And for employees, The Agent Store makes finding the right tools simple so users can quickly use agents that fit their roles and workflows. Let's talk about observability and usage. So admins get the visibility they need, total active users and agents, usage by publisher type, detailed consumption patterns, and alerts for high activity. You're not guessing, you're guiding adoption with real data while staying compliant and secure. And these insights aren't just numbers, they're a signal into your organization's AI impact. So what you've seen today here is only a glimpse of what is available. We hope that this has given you a view into what's possible, and undoubtedly, the opportunity here is huge. To close, let's now see 𝗦𝗽𝗲𝗻𝗀𝗻's Ask Agent. The agent protects sensitive data while empowering sales teams with secure, instant access to curated content. And this doesn't pose a risk to their customers or their business because it keeps information secured while preventing shadow IT. Here's the video.
Meet the Ask Agent, a one-stop agent built by 𝗦𝗽𝗻𝗻𝗀 for their sales team. For example, a bid manager can ask any topic and access curated case studies, ensuring they have the right examples. Also, a sales director can query for the most recent corporate decks and get links plus a concise summary. This helps them stay informed and ready for impactful client discussions. Lastly, a user can upload an RFP file and have it analyzed against existing RFPs, extracting key sections and actionable insights. This comparison helps the agent identify trends and best fit content. The user can then select suggested prompts to instantly draft RFP sections, leveraging learnings from RFPs prepared for multiple projects for faster, smarter drafting.
Cool. So to wrap up, thanks. We can safely state that ROI is a measure of value times scale. That means as you add value, you scale it, and ROI grows linearly. Let me tell you a secret. Empowering frontier workers can shift this curve. Creation scales with the people closest to the work, and your ROI grows exponentially. This means that top-down yields a few agents used by many, but a bottom-up approach yields many agents used by small groups, and the impact multiplies with scale. So here's a summary of what we saw today. First, a seamless agent creation with natural language, improved performance, and copy to Copilot Studio for more sophisticated capabilities. Second, we created more powerful agents with new office skills and knowledge sources. Third, we showed you agents in the flow of work in your office apps with discoverable and smart agent recommendations. And fourth, workflows to automate repetitive tasks using just words. So thank you for joining, but 2 requests as you take your flights back home. First, think of one task your team repeats every week. Imagine it as an agent. What would it look like? Second, think of the controls your admins will want on day 1. And Copilot makes both of these possible. So start imagining, and let's accelerate your AI journey together. We can't wait to see what you create. Thanks.
That concludes the session. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the rest of Microsoft Ignite.